Hey there, all you cool cats and kittens. This is Jeremy back with the Boys of Summer podcast, and I'm with Mac.
Sup, everybody?
Yeah, it's been a while. Vacations, coronavirus, all that fun stuff. We got a good one tonight. I love that we can trace him back to the 80s, which is my favorite decade of cinema, and I know Mac feels the same way on that.
Oh, you know it. These are childhood movies a lot of the time.
Absolutely. So we are here to talk about one of the biggest blockbusters in this era, and of course we're talking about Robert Downey Jr.
Tony Stark himself, boys and girls.
You know, I believe he made Marvel just by his character. Just took Marvel over and put it way over the top.
Yeah, I have to agree. Without what he did for Iron Man in that movie and the way they were able to launch the Marvel Cinematic Universe so big on the first go and just knock out of the park, that was the momentum they needed to create what they did, which is just a money-making machine.
Yeah, he was the table setter for that, no doubt. But we're going to start about back in the 80s when he was the lovable sidekick, so to speak. He
Yeah.
didn't come up with the big roles.
Nope. And it's funny too, because of course, Robert Downey Jr. is named after Robert Downey Sr., who himself is a movie maker. He himself was making films and putting Robert Downey Jr. in his films, even as a kid. But they're a family of artists, and that's the funny thing is they got to work from the bottom, and that's exactly what Robert Downey Jr. did. And I think he started right there at the bottom.
Yeah, there's nothing in the early 80s until I guess he really started in like 72, but there's nothing you can really point at until 85 when he was in Weird Science, and he wasn't even a big role. He was the asshole that was trying to take the girls, but he did it beautifully.
The part he was born to play.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And then he hits he was actually on Saturday Night Live, which I've not seen.
So yeah, and it's funny you should say that, because that's exactly what I thought when I first read that. And so of course I was like, why don't I know that? You'd think I would. And so I went and did some research, and I saw some clips, and I kind of found out there's a reason why we don't know that. And that's just because he's been rated the worst cast member of SNL of all time.
He does not, to me, he does not seem to be an improv guy. He studies his crafts, and he's an actor. He's not an improv.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. He is an artist. And artists, they're about their craft and they're about their drugs.
We'll get to that a little later.
I think that's what it was all about for him for those 2 years at SNL.
Was just drugging it up and just having a good old time. He was young. He was still young, man.
Yeah. But this was Rolling Stones who named him number worst of all time. So
pretty big magazine.
I'm kind of inclined to agree with him. And based on what I saw today on YouTube, yeah.
So we're in the 80s, and he's coming off Saturday Night Live, and he hits the back to school, Rodney Dangerfield. He's the sidekick of Dangerfield's son, and he's in there occasionally, but you remember him. That's the difference. When he plays the sidekick role in these movies, you remember him.
He's got a memorable face, He's got that star charisma. Just doesn't know how to use it yet.
The one break he got a little bit in the 80s was The Pickup Artist, where he was the lead role with Molly Ringwald. Not that great a movie, in my opinion. Then we hit up to Johnny Be Good, which I love. And again, he's the sidekick, backup quarterback. I mean, he was the best that I've seen at playing that role.
Yeah, and then he's doing some other stuff for the end of the 80s, and we get to 1990, with Air America with him and Mel Gibson. And this is when they start becoming BFFs. Like, they're actually really good friends.
Air America, I've not watched. I did watch Soap Dish, and that brings us up to the biggest break you can get is Charlie Chaplin, the biopic.
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin, for those who don't know, is one of the most controversial and greatest comedians of the silent era. He loved his girls young, and he was kind of a creep. But he made us laugh, so we kind of let him slide.
A little bit. And Downey Jr. came into that against some heavy hitters. I mean, he beat out Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Billy Crystal for that role. So his audition must have been out of this world. I would have went with Robin Williams, but I'm not smart.
Well, I've seen this movie, actually. I own it on DVD, and I love it. And not just because I actually am a Charlie Chaplin fan. Like, his old silent movies are hilarious. But I really feel like Robert Downey Jr., I love that movie because I love classic Hollywood and just where it started. And that movie brought it all to life.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I wasn't as big a fan as everybody else. Did it win Oscars? I don't even know. It probably did. Be my guess.
I've been nominated twice, but he's won some Golden Globes.
Oh, well, nice.
So he's got
participation gift.
He's got balls.
Without a doubt. And then what? Heart and Souls next.
Okay, so I know you've never seen this.
No.
So right. I love this movie. This was a childhood favorite of mine and my sister's when we were a little kid. Like, I don't know if we rented it or what. I just remember watching this like at least 3 dozen times.
Wow.
Like, at least.
That's putting in work.
And yeah. And it's basically like he's like this. It starts out where he's like a little kid, and this bus crashes, and these people die on this bus, and they start haunting him basically.
So he has Sixth Sense,
kinda, but it's like your ghosts are like Kira Sedgwick and Charles Grodin, and they're like more like your imaginary friends who you play with. And so, like, he has like all this fun with his imaginary friends until like it gets in trouble, and his parents basically start taking him to like get psychiatric help because he's seeing people, and these ghosts are like, fuck, we can't fuck up with this kid. This is bad. So they make themselves disappear, so he can't see them anymore. Okay, and so but they are still haunting him, basically. They're still around him his whole life, and so he grows up and he kind of becomes a schmuck, and he's like this business asshole. And finally this angel dude comes, and they're like, he's like, oh, you guys ready to go to heaven? Like, what? He's like, oh, didn't another guy come down here and tell you what you're supposed to do while you're down here? And like that you're supposed to use him. The kid is like a vessel to like complete your unfinished business in the world, or anything you need to do to like you're one last thing. And they're like, what? No, we didn't know that. Well, too bad. Get on the bus. And they're like, no, give us some more time. And they're like, all right. And so they start haunting him again. They show up again and fuck his shit up just so they can have their unfinished business.
I want to know what the hell the person was on who wrote this, and then the people that made the movie. What kind of drugs you got to be on to come up with a fucked up story like that? Literally, you just ruined a kid's life because you're a ghost.
So, do you want to know what the 4 ghosts, what their unfinished business was?
I think we have to at this point. I don't think there's any stopping.
Okay. So, one was to just sing in public. One was to return a kid's stamp collection that he stole. One was to just hug her child one last time. And then the 4th one was to help Robert Downey Jr. save his relationship to Elizabeth Shue. which I'd say is totally worth it because it's Elizabeth Shue.
So what I'm hearing right here
Mm-hmm.
is I'm going to have some fucked up task when I die, trying to make up for the shit I've done.
Well, it's just going to be one thing you have to do, but it's probably going to be fucked up.
I mean, with my luck, I don't see any other way.
Without a doubt.
Oh, it's such a bad movie. Yeah, I've not seen it, so maybe I'm wrong.
The way I describe it sounds bad, but it's wonderful.
All right, we'll move on to the 90s. And we hit a movie that terrified me as a teenager, Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. Yeah,
Woody
that's a
Harrelson.
dark one right there.
Yeah. That I didn't watch it. I probably didn't really sit down and watch it until I was like 30. And it was on like Stars or something like that. And I sat down and watched it, and I was still not a happy person.
It's not a pleasant film, no. And some people may or may not know that Woody Harrelson's father is an actual like hitman and is an actual murderer. I believe he's in prison for murdering people for money.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so
That's
that kind
true?
of gives you a little insight. So yeah, that's a true story. Like his father is a fucking murderer.
Wow.
And so that movie is a little bit of catharsis for him, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. That's I don't ever want to watch it again. I'll put it that way. I'm good with the one time.
You know, this makes me think. Have you seen Joker?
I have. I actually like that movie.
That's not a pleasant film either. Nothing good happens in that either.
It's not a pleasant film, but it's not random. I think the whole problem with Natural Born Killers is it was so random who they killed. I mean, hell, they flipped a fucking coin to see who lived and who died. Then they shot them
Yeah,
all.
that's true. That's scary.
I mean, at least with the Joker, he had reasons to feel that way about the people that he killed. But Natural Born Killers, there was no reasoning. Just, I mean, at first there was with the parents and all, all that Rodney Dangerfield and stuff. But the rest was just for fun. That's scary. It's kind of like that movie with Michael J. Fox. What movie am I thinking about here? Where he sees the ghost. They have to carve numbers in the head.
Frighteners.
Frighteners. See, that one scared me too because it was just random people getting killed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just not a fan of that.
You just kind of mentioning Rodney Dangerfield and Natural Born Killers. I know we're off track, but I'm just going to keep us there.
No, that's fine.
Rodney Dangerfield, at one point, I heard this in a podcast, that he tried to get to become a member of the Academy, Academy member, so that he can be on the selection committee for Academy Awards and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was after he did that movie, which kind of gave him a lot of cred, and he's already done a couple other things, but he got denied because they're saying like his movies don't really contribute culturally, like he's just a silly comedian dude.
Man, these
people
don't
think it's worthy. So and this is pre-internet days, his internet, or early internet days, like his people went to bat and like petitioned the shit out of Academy until they eventually offered him a membership. And you know what he did?
Please tell me he said shove it up your ass.
Oh yeah, he turned that shit down. Like, nah.
That's Rodney Dangerfield. That's awesome. Because I guarantee there's 70% of the people on that committee that's voting that I don't even know, and I will never forget Rodney Dangerfield.
No respect, man.
He never got it.
Well,
all right, let's get back on track as we head up the 90s. All right. What we got coming up? U.S. Marshals.
Dude, the sequel to The Fugitive. The sequel no one asked for, but it's actually a really good movie.
I did not know he was the bad guy till he was the bad guy.
Right?
Does that make sense?
Yep.
It
And
was well done.
here's a funny story. Funny story about this movie is when they were making The Fugitive. Joey Pantalones, Joey Pants.
Yes.
Uh, he's in both. He's in The Fugitive, and something happens. I don't remember the scene, but like he gets hit in the head because instead of Tommy Lee Jones, and then Harrison Ford is like, "Well, if you get hit, it should kill you because you're like a minor character." He's like, "No, I don't want to get killed. I want to be in the sequel." And Harrison Ford's like, "They're not going to be a sequel." Like he's like, "Nah, we'll get some other asshole to chase."
And the name was Wesley Snipes.
Yup.
Oh, that's a funny story. I can see that playing out.
Yeah.
The fugitive U.S.
And
Marshals.
Joey Pants is in the sequel, so give it up for him. He got his role. He stuck up for himself, did not get killed off, and he's in the sequel, so good for him.
Are we even going to talk about one of the worst movies that ever made Bowfinger?
Well, you said it, not me.
Yeah, I guess we're there now. Let me get my true feelings out real quick. Let me take a drink.
Let it out, buddy. As someone wise once told me, got hate in your heart, let it out.
Drinking Larceny straight small batch bourbon tonight. Shout out. This movie fucking sucked. Whoever was this more. A passion project? Do we know? Was this or Eddie Murphy's passion project? Because it's fucking horrible.
You're learning from me.
You've taught me well.
I'm so proud right now.
This movie made no fucking sense from the beginning to the end. None. All right, I'm done.
It's funny. It's just like I want to say. Well, actually, no. I do want to say. I have to say, I believe cocaine was a big part of this movie.
Oh, it had to be. It had to be.
Fun fact: I just realized too. Written by Steve Martin himself, directed by Frank Oz.
I love Steve Martin, and now I have to hate him a little bit. There has to be a little bit of hate in there for this being something he wrote.
No one's perfect, buddy.
He was so close, though. So close. Oh, such a horrible movie.
All right,
move on from this piece of shit.
Let's move on. So right after that, he did Black and White, which is, I think, more of like an independent role, artsy movie, pretty decent. And then after that, he's with Tobey Maguire and Michael Douglas in Wonder Boys.
Yeah, I never watched it.
It's a good movie.
I don't know. I was 20 then. I didn't care about it.
I had HBO. It was on it. I watched it.
Yeah. Then we had TV.
Okay, so I guess it's a good time to mention, like, so he had what we call a drug problem.
Well, that's saying it mildly, I guess.
And like, I'll get into some of that. Like, I don't want to get super into it because, like, I know he doesn't like to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it because we're going to talk. That's what we do.
Oh, just because he don't want to talk about it, don't mean we're not.
So yeah, he was totally on Ally McBeal for a little while, trying to get his shit back together, and kind of like, so yeah, this was a big pop in his popularity and getting him back on, and then he got himself arrested again, and so he got fired from this show.
Oh, they fired him. Yeah, what did he date the star, Flockhart?
You know, that's not really going to help you when you're found wandering in an alley by the police, high on drugs.
You're not wrong.
Drugs.
All right. Then we hit the Singing Detective. Now, the only reason we are talking about Singing Detective is because I watched the trailers and a couple clips on YouTube. I'm intrigued. I really want to see this movie.
Tell me more, like, because I've never heard of this until today, and I am also fascinated.
Okay, let's start with the crew, the cast. Robert Downey Jr., Robin Wright, Mel Gibson, Katie Holmes, Adrian Brody. I mean, it's set up.
Shit.
Yeah, the cast is there. Now, the whole premise, apparently, is from his hospital bed, a writer suffering from a skin disease hallucinates musical numbers and paranoid plots, and he's the detective trying to solve them while he's receiving treatment.
Wait,
So,
wait. He's trying to solve his own hallucinations,
yes,
and it's a
for me,
musical.
I don't know if you can call it a musical, but I would say it's a musical. I'm intrigued. I want to watch it. They got me.
All
It
right.
sounds
Well,
weird. It's a comedy
so
crime musical.
okay, I was gonna save this for Max Facts later, but since we're talking about it, when did that movie come out?
2003.
So in 2004, he made a fucking album.
What, a rap album?
Honestly, I don't know. I never heard it.
Was it might have
Um,
been a musical?
well, November 23rd on Sony Classics label came out with an album called The Futurist with 8 original songs and a couple of covers. He wrote the 8 songs too, like all him.
But I can absolutely see him covering Sinatra.
I don't know what his covers were, but I think seeing him doing this just kind of just showcases that he is an artist. You know, he's an artist raised by artists, and he's gonna try shit.
Or, and follow me on this, somebody told him he could sing while doing a singing detective, so he spent money to put out an album that nobody bought.
Well, I didn't really research how well it did, but since this is the first time I'm hearing about it, 16 years later, I'm sure it did not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. It sucked. That's just me on that. All right, moving on. We're gonna hit what is it, Gothica? A lot of people like that with Halle Berry. He played Doctor. You know what? We're skipping
I
that.
I don't know. I make like except for like X-Men, I can't, and maybe Swordfish. I don't know of
All right, we're
another
heading.
Halle Berry movie I've seen.
Yeah.
Like people watch those?
Well,
Like the Halle Berry movies I've seen is when she's in a franchise I like. But like that's it. Like cuz she's in John Wick 3, she's in X-Men, she's in a James Bond movie. Like I've seen her there, but I've never been like I got to go see the new Halle Berry movie. No, I can't fathom that.
absolutely not. I made the fuck up of watching Catwoman, like I made the fuck up of watching Bowfinger. I came out dumber than I ever started.
Yeah, I've
I'm not.
never seen Catwoman, and I don't plan to.
Don't save yourself. I don't care if it's free. Save yourself the 2 hours. Time's more important than that piece of shit. So we're gonna go on. We're gonna get Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Bang bang. She bang. I don't know.
So you've
Never
never
watched
seen
it.
this, have you?
No, I haven't. For some reason, it just never
Ah.
came up on my radar.
All right, so let me explain to you how much you fucked up. A lot, dude. This is your kind of
What?
movie, man.
This is it.
Like
This is the one.
this is like you're gonna watch this and you're gonna immediately text me. Kind of like how I finally watched Roadhouse and immediately texted you.
You
Like
did.
it's gonna be like that. Like,
I remember that. You sent a text. I finally watched Roadhouse, and it was the greatest and the worst movie of all time.
yeah, all at once. I couldn't believe it.
That's good writing
It
right
was so
there.
wonderful and so horrible all at once. And I was like, only Swayze could do that. Like, honestly, if it were anybody else, it'd be like the worst movie of all time. But instead, Swayze made it so awesome at the same time.
Don't forget about Mr. Elliott.
I can never forget.
Sam Elliott. Anything he's in. So, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, we got what? Val Kilmer, Corbin Burnson,
So
Robert Downey Jr.
it's a whole
What's
it's a
going
whole
on?
lot of Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer together, and their quick-witted remarks to each other and the other people they're interacting with. It's just it's our kind of humor, man, with the quick wit, and it's so good.
Let me ask you this question: Is the
Mhm.
wit as good as Hudson Hawk? Because the way you're describing it, Hudson Hawk just jumped in my head, and you know how I feel about Hudson
You
Hawk.
know, I do. I feel like it's very similar in that kind of way. I think, but it's I'd say it's better crafted.
Sure. I mean, Hudson
Because
Hawk
you
didn't
know,
win worst movie ever just for the point. You know,
right?
they had their
You know,
flaws.
it's hard for us to explain to people why it's so good when it's the worst movie ever.
Oh, but it's so good. It's so
But it
good.
is so good. It's like Roundhouse, man. It's so bad, but it's so good.
So good. No. Yeah. I gotta watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I need to put
But
that on
yeah,
the.
it's got everything. It's got comedy. It's got murder. It's a full bag, baby.
Everything's sitting right there.
Yep.
So, about this time, I'm guessing we have Downey Jr. Auditioning for Tony Stark. And I'm
Well,
pretty sure they took a few years to find the right Tony Stark.
I didn't think. Yeah, I don't know if it was this early because between now and then, he did a few things. He was in A Scanner Darkly and Zodiac, and
Well,
I think Zodiac
well,
is what really pushed him over.
so Zodiac. There's not a better role I've ever seen Robert Downey Jr. in than playing Paul Avery in the Zodiac. First of all, Zodiac's my favorite book and also one of my favorite movies, so maybe I'm biased here. I think it was all done great. It wasn't Gyllenhaal
Oh,
that sold that movie. It was Robert
you know,
Downey Jr.
people don't go to the movies to see Jake Gyllenhaal. Let's just face it. Sorry, Jake. Like, if that were true, Source Code would have done much better. Like, don't get me wrong, he's great, but they don't go to see him.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, let's go see the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie. It's like we're like, hey, you see the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie? It's not half bad.
You mean Spider-Man Far From Home?
He was great in it.
Yeah, but he's not Tom Holland.
But yeah, no one said, let's go see the new Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Spider-Man. No one said that.
No, you're correct.
He's one of the ones where it's like, let's go see the new Spider-Man movie. I don't know. Well, who else is in it? Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, he's not that bad. All right. Okay. I'll go see that.
You're right. No, you're right. He's never a standout.
He's just not a draw. Yeah, he's not a don't get me wrong, he does good work. People just aren't paying a shit ton of money to see it.
No, yeah, right. He was good in Zodiac, but he's not Robert Downey Jr. or Mark Ruffalo for that matter. I mean,
Mark Ruffalo.
I know, right? So in 2008, here he comes out, Tony Stark, Iron Man. So granted, I did not grow up being a comic book person or a superhero fan. I never watched Star Wars till I was in my 30s. It just wasn't my kind of movies. So I don't know what made Iron Man so much better than Rocket Man or the Incredible Hulks before him. So I'm going to give Mac the floor here and tell me why Iron Man changed the landscape of superhero movies.
Because it grounded it in a little reality, and it kind of reminded me of the unsung hero of the comic book movie genre, and that is Blade. The very first Blade movie came out well before X-Men or Spider-Man or any of that early 2000s bullshit. And what I loved about it was so bloody and so gritty, and it felt real. Like it was built in real world. But they just still kept that comic book charisma. And so they did that again, but perfected it in 2008 when Iron Man came out. And it was just identifiable. It was just like, I'm a rich fucking playboy who's cool and charming and shit. Oh, and I also built myself a suit of armor because I'm awesome. And that's kind of how people were feeling at the time. Everybody just ate it up. Like, I remember when this movie came out, it was huge. And honestly, like, I liked Iron Man as a kid. I never really read the Iron Man comic books, but I watched Iron Man cartoon and actually even read a couple of Iron Man novels when I was a kid because I was that big of a nerd. And I thought he was a cool character and was ready to see. And that was the thing too, is he was a character who had problems. He was flawed. And I think that's what people relate to him too, is the fact that he's real. He's a human being. He fucks up. He has some drinks and gets fucked up. And, that was a whole storyline in the comics, was like Devil in a Bottle. That was a huge storyline for him. I think that's what gravitated people to him.
Well, it's probably 2016 and I was just sitting home watching FX one night, and Avengers came on, and I was like, fuck me, Avengers shit. But I couldn't find the remote, so I watched it, and then I went back to the catalog and had to go all the way back through because it kind of hooked me right there. It's crazy. Now, coming off that Iron Man high, you had the Ben Stiller sitting there and say, "Hey, I got an opportunity for you. You want to hear it?"
I wish I was in the room when he's like, "Hey, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to play an Australian douchebag going blackface for real,
but playing the guy that's playing the guy that's playing the guy that's playing the guy that's playing the guy." Was that too many guys?
I think he's a guy. No. So this is what he is. Robert Downey Jr. is a guy playing a guy who's playing a guy who's playing a guy.
Look, I'm not a fan of Tropic Thunder at all. It is not my kind of humor. It's not my kind of movie. But let me ask you something. Why does he get a pass on this?
I think because it was self-aware. I think it was just in a way that we're like, oh yeah, we know it's a white guy doing blackface. We know, but yeah, we know. And they're like, but
green light.
Yeah, we know. And I guess before he did this, and he was already good friends with what's his face, who he's in Due Date with.
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx, yeah. He called Jamie Foxx to make sure it was cool.
And that's cool. I guess the biggest problem I got is not that it happened, because I understand the premise of it, and I'm fine with it. It's that he's still getting flack 12 years later when nobody cared then. I don't understand.
That's the kind of funny part, is that it kind of was years later that they're like, wait a minute, he did blackface. And we're like, yeah, we were all there. You were there too. So don't act like you didn't already see the movie. Like, we all know. Like, yeah, he straight up did blackface.
Yeah, and it's it's a very popular movie. Tropic Thunder.
I think it's not my kind of
movie. People love it. So I guess it worked.
Like, it's one of those things. They give it a pass because they thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, we do that quite a bit, unfortunately. Well, actually, strike that. We do that quite a bit, and I think it's a good thing. Comedy has its place in life.
Absolutely.
Heading up after that, we're hitting one of my favorite franchises, and I wish they made more. I'm pissed off it stopped at 2. Sherlock Holmes. Oh, he was so great as Sherlock Holmes.
I want to know why. Why do you think he was good as Sherlock Holmes?
I knew he was going to say some stupid shit. Why you hate him for Sherlock Holmes? He was great. He had a great accent. The movies were done great. He was just out of control. He was more out of control than he was as Iron Man, but still got the job done. So what am I missing here that's connecting the dots?
Because Sherlock Holmes isn't out of control. He's totally in control. Like, I don't feel like they got the character right.
That's your opinion. I loved it.
Did you ever read Sherlock books, Holmes, when you were a kid?
No, I wasn't a nerd. I played sports and went outside and talked to girls. What'd you do? Read Sherlock Holmes books?
And other stuff. I play with Legos too.
Did you get the Death Star put together?
They didn't have that when I was a kid, but if they did, I would have had that shit. No, you want to know the big one I had was the fucking monorail. I had the space monorail for those who had Legos back in the day. Had that shit battery operated with the lights. It was awesome. One of the coolest, biggest things I had.
Oh my God. All right, let's just move on since you're going to be that guy. Due Date. Now here's
fucking hilarious.
You know what? This movie bombed, and rightfully so.
Did it really?
It's still a guilty pleasure of mine. It will always be. But I feel like Robert Downey Jr., instead of being the colorful asshole, he's just a fucking asshole. And that wasn't like there was no comedy in his assholeness.
No. So it's funny you say that because he was playing a classic straight man who's not supposed to be the funny one. And it's supposed to let Zach Galifianakis shine. Which it did.
But still, there's points of any comedy where even the asshole in those situations is funny. And Robert Downey Jr. just wasn't funny, except when he punched the kid in the stomach, which I fell out on the floor laughing because we should do that more.
The shit with the car crash was fucking hilarious.
Again, it is a guilty pleasure of mine. And if it's on TBS and I'm sitting here, sitting on the couch watching TV during quarantine, I'm going to sit and watch it because I do laugh, especially when they put the dad's ashes in the coffee machine and Jamie Foxx drinks it. I lose my shit.
Yep, and then Jamie Foxx is there just because he's good buddies with RDJ. But yeah, I had you kind of said it best there when you said guilty pleasure movie, because
absolutely,
that's what this is. It's this like movie where you're laughing at shit you feel like you shouldn't laugh at, and like people getting hurt and masturbation jokes and shit like that, and it's like kind of like this is so low brow, like I can't believe people like this, but you're like on the inside like you're like, oh, it's so funny, I love this movie.
You're not wrong.
You watch it alone. You watch it alone and laugh.
Oh yeah, I don't watch it with anybody else here. We're watching, Iron Man or Sherlock Holmes. We're not watching Due Date. That's for me. All right, so we're heading up. We hit Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, and then we hit something we want to touch on. Chef.
I love this movie, dude.
It's one of Netflix. For me, it's one of the best things Netflix put out.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, not only is this a wonderful movie, really showcasing what Jon Favreau is capable of as a writer, director, and actor. Favreau. Sorry. There is no E between the V and the R. It's just Favreau, not Favreau.
Favreau.
But yeah, it's got a great cast. It's Jon Favreau, my boy John Leguizamo, and then a great cameo by Robert Downey Jr., which was just like the mwah mwah, that kiss right there. That it just kind of put this movie over the edge in greatness.
Let me ask you something, and I'm curious. Have you seen anybody like Jon Favreau, whatever, come up and just own Hollywood the way he has? Like, you'll never know you don't know who he is, but he's running Hollywood. He's directing the Marvel movies. He's writing them. He's writing his own independent stuff. This is the guy that was stand-in on Friends and was known for being with Vince Vaughn on, Vegas, baby.
So that was Swingers. So let me just take you to school real quick. That was also Jon Favreau's movie. God damn it, you got me doing it. Jon Favreau's
movie. Swingers?
So, yeah, he made Swingers. Like, he made it for him and his buddy Vince Vaughn. Like, they came up together. Like, in fact, like, if anything, Vince Vaughn owes like Jon Favreau's career.
Okay, but my point is, if you went up to the normal person on the street, you say, "Do you know who Vince Vaughn is?" 90% of people are going to say yes, right?
Yeah.
If you go up and say Jon Favreau, they're not going to have any idea what you're talking about, and he's beating everybody.
No, I disagree. They know who the fuck Jon Favreau is. Just because you don't doesn't mean they don't.
No, I know him. I've loved him ever since, from the beginning. I'm just saying, when I talk to people, they have no idea who he is.
That saddens me because he's on fire right now because he is the one who made the Mandalorian. the hit show on Disney Plus.
Right, and that's kind of my point. The people don't know him, and he's running Hollywood right now. He's the hottest thing out there,
Yeah.
and people don't care. Or maybe they do. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, we're gonna head to 2014, The Judge. Oh, this one.
Oh,
What a movie.
dude. There's some serious acting going on in this movie.
If you ever just want to sit down and watch a movie that completely baffles you and changes the way you think from beginning to end about 4 or 5 times, this is the movie.
Yeah. This is one of those powerhouse dramas that are just like, get ready to sit back and feel some emotions because they're going to take you on a journey. And this is a killer cast, by the way. We got Robert Downey Jr., we got Robert Duvall, Vera Farmiga, Billy Bob Thornton, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Dax Shepard. Like, that just, that's huge right there.
That's an all-star lineup. All-star lineup. And they all win. You can have an all-star cast and somebody just drops the ball. They did not in this movie. It's there. Oh.
Just buckle up and be prepared to feel emotions when you watch this movie, guys. That's all I can say.
Absolutely.
You're going to feel feelings. Like, not like big fish level feelings, but like you're going to feel some feelings.
Oh, absolutely. It takes you on a roller coaster. It really does. From beginning to end. My God. Honestly, Robert Duvall's performance. What is he? 99 now? What? How old is he? He looks the same as he was in Godfather in the 70s.
Right? Oh man, like that dude. And he's one of those guys who's going to outlive us all.
He's not changed. I don't know how old he is. Oh, just keeps banging them out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's one of those unstoppable dudes. Like, what's that other one I love with him in? Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh, yeah. He's the old man, and that was 20 years ago. He's the old man in the garage that taught him all everything. You know, The Paper. Did you ever watch The Paper? Or have I failed you?
I've never seen The Paper. Yeah, you failed me, I guess.
I have failed. Michael Keaton, Glenn Close, Robert Duvall.
Oh. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Tell me you watched.
Because you know me, I at least must be aware of everything Michael Keaton has ever done.
Right. Marissa told me Uncle Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
I don't think I've seen this movie all the way through, but I think I've seen some of the clips and stuff.
Do your favorite. I'll send you my Amazon account so you can watch it tonight. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies ever. But anyway, of course, we have SpiderMan Homecoming and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame that broke us down when Tony Stark died. We all had a tear. Then we hit
spoilers. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it doesn't end well.
No, it don't. I had to watch it twice. Thanks, Ina. Wouldn't let me watch Far From Home. Then we hit, oh God, Doolittle. I can't do it.
Okay, so I'll step in here because I've seen this. I paid money to go to the theater, and I watched this. I saw it with my 2 eyes. Yeah, the whole time. I was there the whole time. Let me just say, I did enjoy the movie. I did. But I will also add, this is also the movie that no one asked for. No one said, oh, you know what they should do? Make another Dr. Dolittle movie. That'd be a really good idea. Like, no one asked for this. But it was good. Some things I enjoyed about it was the cast. Michael Sheen playing the villain, a wonderful character actor. And the CGI for the animals that were talking to him. Rami Malek was playing, I think, a polar bear or something. Really cute. And an almost unrecognizable Antonio Banderas.
Antonio making an appearance. That's been sparse lately.
Yeah. And he's looking older.
I bet he is. Uh, for me, I can't have Sherlock Holmes with the same accent talking to animals. I'm out on that. I love Sherlock Holmes. I don't need the same. I watched the trailer. That's it. And I have no interest in watching this movie at all, unless, of course, I'm on a date. You know, kind of like you were put in that position. Because I know you wouldn't have watched it any other way.
No, I took my girl. We went and saw
Yeah,
it together.
that's my point. Unless I'm taking a girl to go because of animals, and that's date etiquette. I'm not watching this movie.
Yeah, but okay. How about this? Does this help sell it to you? John Cena's one of the animals.
That makes it even worse. I mean, come on. Just get out of my fucking cinema, you wrestlers. Just stop. You're not actors. You're wrestlers. Do it. No, that don't help at all. Yeah, there's nothing about this film that even remotely makes me want to go, hey, I can't wait to see this. No. But you're giving it your approval, so we'll see what the audience takes from there.
Yeah, well, it's obviously not a blockbuster hit because, well,
It did not.
it did okay. And it was even before the coronavirus, this was just a bad winter for the movies, I think. I don't think anything was really doing good in the box office, even good movies. And back in January, there was a ton of shit in the theater I wanted to go see, and it just
Really?
did none of them did well. Like Birds of Prey, the new
Yeah.
Harley Quinn movie. I
Well,
actually rented that on Amazon the other day, and it was really good.
is it? Because I feel the name change kind of hurt that movie. I know they were trying to make it more. I don't know. The whole name change during the second week kind of threw me off a little bit. And
They changed the name.
yeah, it was Birds of Prey to Birds of Prey, the Emancipation of Harley Quinn or something like that. Because
Like
nobody
threw her
knew it was
name in the title.
yeah, it was. If you have to do that, your movie's not standing. Sorry, I
Well,
can't.
and I should probably do it because no one was going to see it. But honestly, it's a fun movie. It was great.
Second of all, I was I was on a plane last week with everything, and normally they have what just left theaters April, so anything that's in February usually on there. I watched Joker
Yeah.
again because there wasn't a good movie to watch with Delta or or Alaska Airlines, and I just couldn't find anything. So that tells me cinema was weak before the coronavirus.
I gotta tell you, it really was. It was a bad winter for cinema. And I don't like to say that because me, I love the theater and I love going to the theater and having that movie experience. But with the how much tickets and all that shit's going up in price, it's really hard for me to justify going to go.
Absolutely, you kind of at this point you have to pick one that you absolutely cannot go without seeing
Yeah,
for the money that you're charging and all that. And we did. I think we went and watched what last one? Far From Home, Spider-Man.
yeah,
We seen that in Fairbanks, I believe. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to go out. And now,
it
well,
is.
hopefully the prices
Well,
drop down.
well,
They're
now
gonna.
you can't even go. But now it's good because shit's on streaming for free. I wanted to see the new Pixar movie, Onward, and that's on Disney Plus. I got to watch that yesterday. That was a cool movie. And a ton of shit's now on Amazon to rent or buy, and stuff's popping up on
Oh,
Hulu and Netflix.
I watched Bad Boys for Life on Fire Stick a little while ago.
Oh, how was it?
I loved it. Oh,
Really?
there's twists and turns coming.
Oh,
Just
dude, that makes me really happy to hear.
they did a good job, in my opinion. There's a twist that you're just like, what the fuck just happened? And
Okay,
it's awesome. It's worth it.
cool, cool. I
It's worth
can't
renting
wait
it.
to see it
For me, it's worth renting it.
because Bad Boys 1 was a sleepover movie for me and the guys in middle school.
No doubt.
And that they were able to keep it going. Like, it just blows my mind that like they got another one all these years later. Like, no way has a franchise been this good and been like this long between sequels. You know, it's like
Every
name
sequel,
another franchise.
it took them 18 years to make the first sequel.
Exactly.
And it was still
Like,
good. I thought a little too much explosion, but it was still a great movie. And I think the third one just you go through some emotions in that, man. You do. I was glued. They done a good job, and this should be the last one. If
well, because of their timeline when they make movies, they'll be 63 by the time they're ready to make number 4. So yeah.
I you know what? I'm not gonna say it. We're just gonna move on.
Well, Danny Glover kind of ruined the bar for that. You know, too old for this shit. He was like 70 fucking 5 when Lethal Weapon 4 or whatever.
No doubt.
Like, he ruined the curve for everybody. No one else could ever say they're too old for this shit because they'll always be younger than Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah, but that's winning, man.
Forever.
That is winning. When you get a catchphrase like that.
I mean, Danny Glover did.
All right, we're get back on track here about Robert Downey. Got a little off track here. Sidebarred. Personal demons. My God, he's got a few, you know.
He likes his drugs.
He used to.
Yes, he has been clean, and he's been clean for a long time now, and I think we can see that by the quality of his work and what he's done with his career. He's really kind of focused himself in a positive way.
You take the 20-year-old that quoted to a judge, it's like I've got a shotgun in my mouth, my finger on the trigger, and I like the taste of gunmetal.
So he began with drugs at a very early age. His father introduced him to drugs when he was like 8 years old.
8?
Yeah, like
what? Coke?
No joke. No. He started with weed, like all the rest. Like, come on,
it's Hollywood.
Well, I get that, but yeah, he began as a young kid when he was like 8 or so. And his dad introduced him to weed, and so that's just kind of a slippery slope. So he's all like, drugs have been part of his life, you know. But that being said, he was a professional. He was good about doing his work, and that, like, he was kind of functioning drug addict for a long time, and you know, was able to still get his shit done, and then go get high.
So what spun him out of control? Do we know, or just Hollywood?
It just, I think, you know, as you go, you need more and more to get high, of course.
Right.
And because I think he did eventually get into cocaine and other drugs. And it really got bad for him, like, in the 90s. So, like, in 96, he stopped for a traffic stop for speeding and was arrested for drunk driving and possession of heroin. He also had, like, a gun with him, so that wasn't great. And so that took him to jail right away. Then he was in probation for a while and, you know, got in trouble for doing drugs again. Then in 97, he was in jail for 180 days for violating probation. Then in 98, he got in a fight with another inmate. Then in 98 again, he was released from jail and completed 6-month settings. And then in 2000, so in 98, he was free to do some movies sometimes. Like, he was actually in work release. And then in 2000 is when he got arrested again and went back to jail after getting fired from Ally McBeal. And then I think that was about it. I think that was the last like time it was really big. He fucked up.
Okay, so my biggest question in all this is, he done his time. He went to jail. He paid for it. Everything. Do you consider him a comeback story because he made it out of prison, then went back up, even though his dad was rich? Or do you consider this a Hollywood story where, yeah, my kid fucked up, and then he still made it? You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I definitely consider this a comeback story.
Okay.
You know, because it's based on his talents that he got as far as he did and fucked up as much as he did. Because if he was just Robert Downey Sr.'s kid, they would have let him crash and burn after fucking SNL. But he kept coming back on his own with his own skills and abilities. And really, it was in the early 2000s that I think when he's trying to come back, like that's when we had like Gothica and shit like that we don't give a fuck about. Yeah, well, he needed like 5 or so years off, or he was out of the radar and just like not doing good or bad, and just kind of letting us forget about the arrests and all that bullshit. And then it's like, oh yeah, Zodiac, okay, yeah, that was a good movie. And then all of a sudden, boom, Iron Man, and he's back, baby, and he's on top. He's king of the world all of a sudden. Boom.
Yeah, because he owns Hollywood right now. Other than John,
Yeah,
him and Jon Favreau could do anything they want.
dude, they could do a fucking drive-by shooting down Hollywood Boulevard and no one give a fuck.
They could do a passion project and we'd like it.
They did. It's called Chef.
Oh, it was great.
It's the exception that proves the rule.
So now we're gonna head into a little segment that you guys all know called Max Facts. What do you have for us, Max?
So outside of all his other arrests and all that, so we all know that. I talked about his album. His dad giving him drugs when he was 8. He kept a great deal of the clothing, the vintage clothing he wore for the movie Chaplin. And like you said, that was his breakout role, and he really did consider that a change. And in a symbolic attempt to bury his decadent 80s style, he took the clothes he was wearing in Less Than Zero and buried them in his backyard.
Damn.
Yeah. So like that was like a moment where he was trying to change and then, later relapse. But he tried. He married his first wife after only dating for 42 days. And that is Deborah Falconer. They had one kid together.
So his love life. Just jump in here real quick. He's got some top notches. He's got Marissa Tomei, Winona Ryder, Sarah Jessica Parker, and the Fast Times at Ridgemont High alum Jennifer Jason Leigh. Not bad.
Oh, Jennifer Jason Leigh, man. But yeah, only married twice. Once to Deborah Falconer, and then currently his current wife, Susan Downey.
I love how you used only married twice for a Hollywood celeb.
Well, it is a Hollywood celeb.
That's great.
Okay, so he is childhood friends with Richard Hall, better known as the music artist Moby.
Oh, good God. Really?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
I have to hate him now? Moby?
The fact that you have something against Moby makes me hate you.
Well, you've hated me for years. That's no point.
This is the day we met.
I hear you, Michael.
Oh, it is on. All right, we're gonna move on. So he was actually approached to play Zapod Beetlebox in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I'm assuming you have not seen.
I've seen it on Netflix, and I've seen it, and I absolutely want to click it, but I always find something better.
So here's why you should, because I actually am perfectly fine with him not with this role, even though he would have done a fine job, but it went to Sam Rockwell, who I am a huge admirer of and who I feel like killed that role. And so it's one of my favorite Sam Rockwell parts. Definitely second behind Moon, at least. And you got Martin Freeman and Mos Def just killing it.
Sam Rockwell, no doubt, is one of the greatest actors of our generation, and he needs more recognition. So if he's in it, I kind of want to watch it.
So if you have not seen Moon, I highly recommend it. It's probably the greatest Sam Rockwell movie of all time.
That's that weird shit where he's up there by himself and starts hallucinating, right?
No, he is up there by himself. Just watch it.
I watched something, but he's talking to himself in different forms, right?
You're getting it wrong. You're wrong, but watch it.
I'm wrong, but right. Is that what you want to say?
You're wrong, but right. You're wrong, but I don't want to correct you because it'll ruin the movie.
Okay, I need to watch it again. I guess I caught like the end of it, or I woke up and it was on whatever channel, but it was Sam Rockwell.
It's a pay
so
attention movie.
I kept it on because it's Sam Rockwell. I'm not gonna turn Sam Rockwell.
It's a pay attention movie. You're gonna want to watch it.
Okay, I need to watch it a little more then. So we got a new segment here, ladies and gentlemen, called Who Would You Rather? And this is a simple game. Me and Matt came up with, when was it? We were down in Anchorage.
Yeah. So what happened was I was trying to say something about how Tom Hanks got the coronavirus, but I accidentally said Ted Danson. Just slipped out. And then it got me thinking, who would you rather hang out with, Ted Danson or Tom Hanks?
And I would absolutely 1000% rather hang out with Ted Danson.
And for once, I actually agree with you. I believe it'd be a killer time to hang out with Ted Danson.
Ted Danson's your buddy. He's your pal. He's always there. He's the Cheers guy.
Yeah.
He's Sam Malone.
Right? Yeah. So I just think it's going to be a great time. I'm going to be more at ease. I'm going to be more comfortable. I'm going to really want to hang out with him and spend some time with him. And I think he's going to be really engaging. I think it'd be a really good time.
I see Tom Hanks as kind of like partying with my grandpa. But I see Ted Danson as being that crazy uncle that, fuck, let's just go. Let's do it. Plus, so much hotter wife.
Oh, Mary.
Oh, Mary.
There's something about Mary.
Yeah, that's something Rita don't have.
Yeah, and, like you said, I'd feel like with Tom, I would be on my best behavior and be really nervous and not want to embarrass myself in front of him. And I'd just be too much in thought. Whereas with Ted Danson, I feel like it's more likely he's gonna, hey, you guys want to open a bottle of wine, smoke this joint? You guys want to party, have a good time?
Well, there's no doubt if you're partying with, or you're hanging with Ted Danson, partying, whatever, the weed's coming out. I have that feeling 1,000%. The weed's coming out, and you're not gonna give a fuck what you do with Ted Danson because Ted Danson's a vault. You never see Ted Danson in the news. You never see him in tabloids because whatever happens at Ted Danson's house stays in Ted Danson's house.
There's no judgment in the Danson home.
I'm just saying. You never see him. Yeah. Well, Ted Danson all the way. So for next episode of Who Would You Rather, we'd like you guys to comment down below which one you'd rather hang out with. And we came up with 2 choices. And I got to tell you, this was rough one even on us. So who would you rather hang out with? Bill freaking Murray or Woody Harrelson? Just let us know down in the comments, and then we are going to talk about it amongst ourselves and with you on our next podcast coming up. All right?
And definitely, comment below if there's other celebrities you'd like to hear us. What would you rather? We would love to hear your thoughts and your pairings of who you think we would debate about. And of course, if you got ideas for people we should do episodes on, definitely comment those below as well.
Agreed. So going on to our next podcast, we are going to do who we're doing, Matt?
We're going to do my boy. I mentioned it before, John Leguizamo.
Oh, Johnny boy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of an underrated guy. You think at first like, oh, well, what's he been in? And then once you hear us talk about it, you're going to realize he's been in a lot of good shit.
No doubt. Just Summer '69, I think. But whatever. Great actor.
And he's done some bad shit too. Like he did Mario Brothers, and we're going to rag on that like so hard.
Well, I can't let him by with that. A good guy. I love a lot of his work that we're going to touch on, and most of his work you probably don't recognize. I guess is the way to put it, Matt.
Yeah, I would have to say, he's more of a supporting guy, the character actor, but I think once you see the volume of his career over the years, you're gonna realize what he's really accomplished.
Till next time, I'm Jeremy, looking good.
And I'm Mac, feeling good.